What is going on, everybody? It's Cold. Today for you guys, I'm going to be showing you my KUDA class, which I think is a really underrated gun in Black Ops 3. Obviously, the VMP and the Vesper get a lot of the love from the SMGs, but the KUDA I found is a really good weapon, and it's a ton of fun to use. Because for me personally, I feel like I get bored of using the same weapons all the time, and it's really fun to be able to use kind of an odd weapon that you don't see too many people use. Granted, the KUDA is one of the first guns you unlock, so it's probably a more common weapon than like the Razorback or something. I don't think people consider the KUDA as like a top tier weapon. So today for you guys, I'm going to be showing you what I use when I'm using the KUDA, and also in a bit you guys will see a little nuclear gameplay of me using it as well. So let's get right into the class setup. First, of course, you got to equip the KUDA. You see I got that awesome looking dark matter. I've got grip, fast mags, extended mags, and rapid fire. Yes, 4 attachments. I don't think you really need an optic for this weapon. The iron sights are perfect for me. It reminds me of the old MP5. We've also got overclock, scavenger, and tactical mask. So I know a lot of people would probably suggest for you to use fast hands, and to be honest, I've just gotten used to not using it at this point, that it's not that big of a deal for me. I'm sure I'd win a lot more gunfights using fast hands rather than scavenger, but I really hate dying due to losing ammo, and if I equip a weapon, I really want to use that weapon, not have to pick up other weapons all the time. So that's why I go with scavenger, and of course I could use scavenger and fast hands, but then that would require a wild card, which takes away just another point that I could use on something else. And I am using 4 attachments because it's just super fun for me to have all these attachments and run around like a madman and just get a bunch of kills. That's why I love having the extended mag, so I can take out a ton of people at once, and the fast mag, so you reload quickly and get right back into the action. And the rapid fire, I think, provides that extra little power that it needs to make it that top tier weapon. So that's why I feel like I'd rather have like all these attachments rather than have that additional fast hands, but I may change my mind later on. But for now, this is definitely my class setup I love using. I've also got overclock, which obviously I want to get my specialist faster because that just turns into a lot more kills as well. The specialists in this game are definitely not underpowered at all, so it's always nice having that overpowered weapon or ability more times in a game, obviously. And tac mask, just because the stuns in this game are ridiculous, and I don't like being slowed down by anything. And obviously I'm not using dead silence or awareness because I'm just running around trying to get as many kills as possible. Obviously, this isn't like a search and destroy class setup. This is more of like a respawn game mode class setup where you're just running around trying to get a bunch of kills. And I'm not much of a sound whore guy, so I don't really like to use awareness. But I'm sure there's some people out there who are just amazing at sound whoring, and awareness is like a staple for them. And also, you'll notice I don't have flak jacket, which I used to run all the time, both overclock and flak jacket, but I've kind of grown away from it just so I can put an extra attachment on my weapon, because obviously I could use like a 3rd or 4th attachment, or I could use a 2nd perk one. And I've been going with the attachments lately, at least in the case of the KUDA, just because it's so fun to have all these attachments on this weapon, because it just makes it feel so OP for me. And for me personally, like, Call of Duty is fun because you can just run around and take out like 3 people around a corner at almost any given point. So having like an OP gun with all these attachments on at once just makes the game so much more fun for me, because I feel like most of the time the other player isn't gonna have like a stacked gun like this. They're gonna be throwing on more perks, secondaries, lethals, tacticals. So most of the time this gun is going to outclass the other person's weapon. And like I said earlier, that's why Call of Duty is so fun for me. All those one-on-one gunfights, just running through and destroying the enemy team. That's when I have the most fun playing Call of Duty. So also I'm going to note that you should maybe make a secondary class setup with the same exact thing, all except for overclock. I have one class where I use Ghost instead of overclock, like if I'm playing Ground War solo or something, because sometimes playing Ground War solo can be really rough and there's just constant UAVs. So I make a 2nd copy of this class and just switch out overclock for Ghost, just in case our team is getting destroyed and there's constant UAVs up. I don't want to be slowed down and feel like I have to stop running around as much because I'm going to be on the UAV as much, because this is definitely a running gun class. You're not going to really be able to camp that much. Obviously it's a submachine gun. You want to take advantage of the mobility, and the gun is obviously best up close, so you want to be able to run around as fast as possible and get up in their face with this weapon. And you guys will see right here that I get a nuclear just before I get toasted by somebody else with the purifier. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know how the class setup works for you. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, I would appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, peace.